Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. When a massive warship breaks down in the middle of the ocean, the situation demands an immediate and robust response to ensure the safety and security of the crew and the environment. In such situations, heavy-lift semi-submersible vessels come into play to remove the ship's heaviest structures. Heavy-lift semi-submersible vessels are among the most impressive and specialized ships operating in the global maritime industry. They are purpose-built to transport extremely large and heavy floating structures that cannot be carried by conventional cargo ships. Typical loads include entire ships, damaged vessels or shipwrecks, offshore oil and gas platforms, drilling rigs, floating dry docks, and massive industrial modules used in energy and infrastructure projects. In many cases, these cargoes weigh tens of thousands of tons and measure hundreds of feet in length, making traditional lifting methods impractical or impossible. The defining feature of a semi-submersible heavy-lift vessel is its expansive, flat deck combined with a sophisticated ballast system. Beneath the deck is a network of ballast tanks that can be precisely flooded or emptied to control the ship's draft and stability. During loading operations, seawater is pumped into these ballast tanks, causing the vessel to sink lower in the water until the deck is partially or completely submerged. This controlled submersion allows floating cargo to be maneuvered directly over the deck using tugboats and mooring lines, rather than cranes. In 2017, the heavy-lift semi-submersible vessel MV Treasure was involved in removing and transporting the USS John S. McCain, or DDG-56, after a tragic collision. The USS John S. McCain is an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer. Commissioned in 1994, it has a displacement of approximately 9,000 tons and boasts advanced Aegis combat systems capable of launching various missiles for air, surface, and subsurface combat. Early in the morning of August 21, 2017, the USS John S. McCain collided with the Liberian-flagged oil tanker Alnic MC near the Strait of Malacca. The incident occurred while the destroyer was heading to the Singapore port for a routine visit. The collision resulted in a significant breach on the port side of the ship, flooding crew compartments, machinery, and communications rooms. Following the collision, the USS John S. McCain was deemed unseaworthy and needed to be transported for repairs. Given the ship's size and the severity of the damage, conventional towing was impractical. The semi-submersible heavy-lift vessel MV Treasure was the perfect choice for this operation. The loading process began with carefully positioning the MV Treasure beneath the damaged destroyer. Next, tugboats floated the 505-foot-long destroyer diagonally over the MV Treasure deck. Once in place, the ballast water was pumped out, gradually raising the destroyer out of the water. However, the operation was not yet complete. Upon arrival at Yokosuka Naval Base, the reverse operation of offloading the USS John S. McCain began. The MV Treasure was again submerged, allowing the destroyer to float free and be guided to the repair dock. In March 2024, the world woke up to another devastating maritime incident that quickly captured international attention. The mega container ship Dolly collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, triggering a catastrophic chain of events. The impact caused a major structural failure, leading to the collapse of the bridge and the immediate blockage of the Fort McHenry shipping channel beneath it. Within moments, one of the most important transportation links in the region was rendered unusable. With the channel obstructed by debris and the fallen bridge structure, commercial vessels were suddenly unable to navigate to or from the port of Baltimore, a key hub for container traffic, vehicles, and bulk cargo on the U.S. East Coast. Port operations were effectively brought to a standstill, disrupting supply chains and creating ripple effects across regional and national commerce. The incident occurred when the 984-foot-long container ship lost power and rammed into one of the bridge's main trusses. In a matter of seconds, the bridge collapsed, causing the span to fall into the water and onto the vessel's bow. This massive section, weighing about 300 tons, fell into the channel, creating a substantial obstruction. The immediate priority was to clear the wreckage to revive the channel and ensure its safety and functionality. Extensive efforts in salvage and debris removal were conducted to solve the problem, not only for the shipping industry, but also for the Baltimore residents who travel across the Patapsco River. The incident wasn't free of human losses. 6 construction workers lost their lives when the vessel crashed into the bridge. The response team, known as the Key Bridge Response 2024 Unified Command, had to move quickly. The first step to clearing the channel involved refloating and removing the grounded container ship. But to refloat Dolly, the response team had to remove containers to lighten the ship and prevent any additional damage. The plan also involved tearing down the standing bridge trusses that were blocking the ship. Various agencies collaborated to remove the entire debris from the waters. Breaking down the bridge wreckage into smaller, more manageable pieces was critical to the operation. This required cutting through steel truss, a labor-intensive and time-consuming task given the size and weight of the wreck involved. After cutting, the sections were lifted and transported on the Chesapeake 1000. This heavy-lift, sheer-leg crane ship is extremely powerful and capable of lifting up to 1,000 short tons. Chesapeake 1000's ability to handle such loads makes it an essential resource in salvage operations. As pieces of the bridge were cut and removed by the Chesapeake 1000, a clamshell dredging bucket was mobilized to clear debris from the bottom of the channel. It was crucial to ensure that the waterway was free from any obstructions. Even the tiniest debris on the bottom of the channel could cause damage to large ships navigating there. The dredging process aimed to restore the channel to its pre-incident depth and safety standards. Salvers worked around the clock, facing the dual challenges of managing heavy equipment and ensuring the safety of all personnel involved.
Extra danger. There's a lot of danger.
By April, significant progress had been made. 3 alternate channels were opened for navigation, but much work remained. The sheer scale of the wreckage and the complexity of the salvage operations meant that reopening the channel fully would take time. MV Golden Ray capsizing is another significant maritime incident that required an extensive salvage operation. The 656-foot car carrier capsized on September 8, 2019, in St. Simons Sound off the coast of Georgia. Shortly after departing the port of Brunswick with over 4,000 brand new vehicles, the vessel experienced a sudden loss of stability. Dramatic tilt caused the car carrier to run aground at a 90-degree angle. A series of events, including open watertight doors and fire, resulted in the vessel being deemed a total loss. Fortunately, all 24 crew members were safely rescued.
We're in a good position. Okay, so it's up to you. But you're clear. We'll come. Actually, I'll wait till they're up in here before moving.
However, the incident blocked one of the busiest shipping routes in the region, and mountainous, partially submerged wreckage obstructed the channel for weeks. The Unified Command had to deal with many casualties at the same time. Avoiding human losses and environmental pollution was a top priority. The next step was removing the Golden Ray wreck to free up the channel. Dotted with a lifting capacity of 6,800 tons and a powerful cutting chain, the VB 10,000 heavy lift vessel was ideal for this complex operation. The VB 10,000 cut the vessel into 8 large sections, each weighing thousands of tons. The sections were then lifted and transported on a barge for further dismantling. Unified Command worked to eliminate the wreck while safeguarding lives, the environment, and commerce. After almost 2 years, the final section of the Golden Ray was removed, a significant milestone that culminated over 3 million man-hours of effort and the largest U.S. salvage operation in recent times. Wreck removal personnel stowed the final section of the Golden Ray wreck and transported it to a nearby facility for partial dismantling. There, the section was broken down into smaller, more manageable pieces. These pieces were then transloaded onto container barges and shipped to a recycling facility in Louisiana. As these incidents show, modern maritime recovery depends on far more than speed or brute force. It relies on engineering precision, careful coordination, and specialized vessels capable of solving problems that once seemed impossible. Heavy-lift semi-submersible ships and powerful crane vessels have become indispensable tools when disaster strikes at sea, allowing damaged warships to be transported safely, critical shipping channels to be reopened, and massive wrecks to be removed with minimal environmental impact. Whether responding to naval collisions, collapsed bridges, or capsized cargo ships, these operations highlight the quiet but essential role of salvage crews working behind the scenes. Their efforts protect lives, restore global trade routes, and ensure that even after the most severe maritime accidents, the oceans remain navigable and secure. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.